Hi, it's Gab, and I'm reviewing Olympus Has Fallen. It's one of two White House Under Siege films coming out in the next couple months, but this is the first. It's directed by Anton Fuqua, the director of Training Day, and stars Gerard Butler as a former Secret Service detail to the President of the United States, played by Aaron Eckhart, who finds himself back in the White House when the White House falls into the hands of Korean terrorists, and they literally take the White House down and take the president hostage for political purposes, of course. And Gerard Butler has to save the day pretty much single-handedly. So, you know, maybe a bit far-fetched, but does this movie pull it off? Well, it's got a lot of action, very intense action sequences, particularly when the White House is first under attack. Very militaristic action, a lot of gunplay and some hand play, quite bloody, really quite violent, and so it's got that good intensity to it. It's not handled in a particularly tongue-in-cheek way. As for realism, maybe not realism, but certainly in the video game age, it's got a certain feel of realism to it, I suppose, first-person shooter and whatnot. There's definitely some sort of scenes and imagery very reminiscent of 9/11, and as I say, extremely violent, more so than your typical, I mean, you feel like you've seen this before. It's a very die-hardish kind of film, but not really done with that humorous, with the tongue-in-cheek. There are some one-liners, of course, but few and far between, and this is really is a film that pretty much takes itself seriously, I think is safe to say. And it does pull it off to a certain extent. I wasn't rolling my eyes quite as much as I expected to. Of course, the premise is quite far-fetched, and there are certain twists and plot holes that just don't add up, but you just got to go with it, and it is fun in that way. Sort of in the dumb fun category, because it's an action film with not much brains to it. It doesn't get too much into the politics, and the script is pretty light, but it's not dumb fun in the sense, like I say, that it's ridiculous. It's got some good action. I think it's too much. It gets a bit too drawn out, and it's quite unremitting after a point, and it sort of loses some of its effect. And yet it's definitely handled. Some of the fights and action are shot too close, cut too quickly, as is the usual style these days, and so it just overall can be quite tiring. The performances are fine. A lot of these actors, Morgan Freeman, you feel like you've seen them in these roles before. The guys playing the CIA, the Secret Service guys, Angela Bassett, the War Room people, you really feel like you've seen them in these films before. You probably feel like you've seen this film before, but I can't say too much against it other than that. So if you like those kind of movies, you probably will like Olympus Has Fallen. Me, myself, I give it 3 1/4 Gabs. Thanks for watching.